If there's one place I've dreamed of wheeling my whole life, it's got to be the US of A. It's a land of big skies, big builds, and even bigger adventures. And after years of planning, we're finally here. We take on America, Aussie style.
Challenge after challenge after, it just doesn't stop. Axles snapped, wheels coming off, there's recoveries.
The 30 is ready to hit the toughest tracks in the US, but I've got a secret new build lined up for Graham.
Check that out. Oh, not even joking, man. Not even joking.
Oh. This is the USA with full drive 24/7.
Keys are in it, mate.
After landing in Southern California on a hot summer day, my first stop is to go and get my wheels. The 30's been shipped all the way from Australia to the USA and is landed right here at Rhino Adventure Gear in San Marcos.
Well, how's this? About a couple of hours ago, I was literally on a plane coming over. My first stop is down here at Rhino Adventure Gear. The Dirty 30 is apparently waiting in there. It's kind of surreal to think that the Dirty 30 made it to the US before me. I've got my swag, I've got a bag of clothes, I'm ready to roll. If I can find this vehicle, now I know I'm in the right spot, there's a couple of Land Cruisers parked out the front. Hopefully the 30 is in one piece.
The guys at Rhino froth on off-road touring and wheeling, and their shop is crammed full of really cool builds and four-wheel drive accessories. And my good mate Yost has been looking after my rig after it landed in the States.
Hey man, how are ya?
Good, man.
Good to see you, mate.
Dude, I think I've got what you're looking for.
Well, I was hoping it would have been here, but I can't see no Dirty 30.
No, we kept it safe, man. It's out back, it's looking sharp, arrived perfect.
I think
you're gonna be happy with it, man.
Let's go have a look.
All right, let's do it. I do need those two forms of identification, though, Shauno. I made that abundantly clear.
A passport and hopefully there's a couple of beers in the fridge.
After a couple of months stuck in a shipping container, the 30 is finally stateside and looking better than ever.
No way, here it is. It is, it's a real thing. I can't believe it, I can't believe it. Oh man, this is so cool. It has made it all the way to the US of A. How good is this? I've traveled halfway around the world and my vehicle is sitting in the back of your shed here.
I've seen it a million times on the screen. I think I'm as equally just shocked that it's here. It's been so fun to hold on to it for you, man.
Yeah.
What an incredible rig.
I just can't believe it's here. It's really spinning me out. And the crazy thing is I'm about to get the keys, put my swag and my bag in there and take off. My little furry mate is waiting at the airport right now. I'll go pick him up and then we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna hit the tracks. We're gonna be off-roading no time at all. One thing I'm a little bit apprehensive about is, I know it's normal for you guys, but for me, driving on the wrong side of the road. Are there any tips you can give me?
You gotta stay on the right side of the road.
Yep, that's a good
one.
start.
Two, if you go through red, go fast.
Yeah.
And just hit the brakes when there's cars in front of you. It's easy money, man. You got this.
Easy done. All right, well, I want to say a massive thank you, man.
You bet, man.
Thanks for looking after it, and I'm just so excited. I've got the Dirty 30 in the US, and we're about to hit the tracks.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of turning the key on your own four-wheel drive in a new country. And ahead lies over 5,000 miles of adventure.
All right, how's this? I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. This is pretty crazy. Now, am I supposed to give way to... no, he's going. Good. There we go. It's my first attempt at driving on the wrong side of the road on a right-hand drive vehicle. It's like learning how to drive all over again. Now, I've got to pick up a couple of bits and pieces, including my mate Graham, and then I can show you guys and show Graham as well this really epic build that we've got. I'm very excited about that, but for now, time to hit the road. Hopefully, I don't end up on the news.
To meet up with Graham, I've got to head north and drive a long way up to Sacramento, near the start of one of the US's most famous tracks, the Rubicon Trail. But first, I've got one more thing to pick up. For that, I'm stopping by Basil's garage to collect a 12-volt system for the new build. Colby and the boys specialise in building wicked off-road rigs, and they've helped us sort out a portable Red Arc 12-volt package, perfect for running a fridge and camp lights on the new build.
How good's this? We're on.
When you bring a rig like mine to a workshop, you always end up working on it, and soon we've found something that needs addressing.
Well, it turns out I can't go to a workshop without actually getting the tools out and working on this vehicle. As I was actually driving out of Basil's garage, I had this massive rattle and my exhaust bracket actually was cracked right through.
Not much of a huge problem, but something we can easily fix with a welder. Or more importantly, Colby can quickly fix. With everything squared away, it's time to brave LA's insane 7-lane freeways and then head up to meet Graham. And more importantly, show him the build I've been secretly working on for months.
Well, this is exciting. I should be meeting Graham somewhere around here. There he is. Hey! Hey!
America! How are you, brother?
Lucky you're wearing a red shirt, mate. You stood out like a beacon.
Wow!
You gotta help me here. This is quite foreign driving on this side of the road.
You need to do something. You need a course. How does it work?
Just jump in and
Have a go.
trust me when I say this, have confidence. You ready?
Oh, there's a car coming.
I know. It's bloody good to have you over here.
Oh, yeah, I'm frothing.
So I was a little bit lonely for the first couple of days, but I've got a few errands done. Your vehicle, which I'm not going to give away just yet, is looking absolutely mental.
Is that where we're going, Dan?
Watch out, we're going over lanes.
Oh.
Soon enough, we arrive at Napa, where the new build is ready and waiting.
The car's in here somewhere.
Check this out. You're looking for, I'm going to pull up.
That thing?
You'll know it when you see it. Check that out.
Oh,
Not even joking, man.
please.
Not even joking.
Balls.
That is a cool car.
Enough talking. Shush.
Keys are in it, mate.
Yep, that's right, Graham's going to be wheeling a Jeep. But not any old Jeep. This one is an absolute off-road classic, one of the most capable four-wheel drives you can get out of the box. It's the legendary WRANGLER Rubicon.
Bro, this thing looks sick.
Have a look at it, mate.
Oh my goodness
Got
me.
all the good gear on it. Come around
Has
the front.
indeed, hasn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Look at this.
Sliders underneath
everything. Minimal lift, big tyres, nice
Yep.
wide stance on it.
Yep.
270. Inside, you're going to see a fridge.
Fridge in there.
I haven't stocked it, mate. That's your job.
I can do that.
We've got a battery box in there as well, so you've
Yep.
got a 12-volt system. It's fully, what we say in America, mate, trail ready.
This is freaking
Cool,
off
eh?
tap.
It's really cool. And
I
check this
approve.
out. A little bit of poke, so you'll fit in with all the cool kids out
Yes, you got to have a little bit of poke.
here. Yeah.
Colonel Mustard. Colonel Mustard, we'll call it. Mate, never thought I'd say it. It's a Jeep. It's freaking cool.
It's really cool,
I
man.
like it.
And these are super capable. I've actually been wheeling in Australia with a couple of rigs just like this, and you'll be shocked where they can go.
First time I've ever driven a Jeep was never.
In fact, 4Drive 24/7 has never built up a Jeep.
Correct?
Now,
Yep.
we'll show you all the build because we documented the whole thing, but I think now's about time where we actually go through the plan. We're
All right,
here in America, and our aim is to drive some of the toughest and most iconic tracks.
Yep.
So that's exactly what we're going to do.
But I guess we could have. I mean, you've seen some of the builds over here.
Yep.
We could have put yours on 40s, this on 40s. We could have gone absolutely mental.
Absolutely.
That's what they do over here.
Absolutely.
Some of their trucks are. They shouldn't be.
Off tap. And
Yep.
I've seen a couple already, mate, and let's just say you'll be flat out trying to find another vehicle on 35s because it does not
Doesn't
exist
no,
in
no.
America.
35s are not even going to go to work.
37s is the new 35s, and
Exactly.
40s if you're a real cool kid, you run those.
So why are we running 35s, mate?
Because I thought we'd keep it like we do in Australia and see if our Aussie trucks can go and tackle some of the biggest tracks in the US. Maybe we can't, but there's only one way to find out.
I'm slightly nervous about this.
Yeah, so am I, to be honest with you.
This is going to be fun, though. This is going to be super fun.
But we didn't just come here for no reason at all, mate.
Yep.
We're down at Napa, so we're going to get some spare parts, some
Yes.
alternate tools.
Yep.
And while we do that, why don't you guys have a look at the build? So this is really exciting, the fact that we've built up a Jeep. In fact, it's the first Jeep we've ever built up on 4Drive 24/7. So why a 2013 Rubicon Jeep? Well, a Rubicon has front and rear diff lock standard. It's also got the bigger diffs. It's highly modifiable. And of course, here in the US, parts are a dime a dozen. You can easily source parts and modifications for this vehicle no matter where you travel. And of course, a Jeep is really capable out of the box. And I'd go as far to say that a Jeep Rubicon straight out of the box is one of the most capable vehicles you'll ever be able to steer. Get a few modifications on these bad boys and they'll go literally anywhere. You can put any driver in, point and shoot, and they can do some of the toughest tracks in the US. So it is the perfect vehicle for us. Now, I've got to be completely honest with you guys. We have never built up a Jeep, and in fact, we don't know that much about them other than that they're really capable out of the box. So we decided to link up with Doetsch Off-Road. Now, these guys are the masters, the gurus when it comes to building up epic Jeeps.
So there was no one better to get in touch with than Dave. Now, love or hate Jeeps, there's no denying that some Jeeps have a few reliability issues. So our step number one was to fix all those reliability issues and make this a weapon out in the bush. So of course we went to Doetsch Off-Road. They know Jeeps inside and out. In fact, they specialize in only building Jeeps. It's quite well known when it comes to Jeeps that when you do lift them, some of the steering can become quite vulnerable. I'm talking about the steering arms, the drag links, the tie rods. Now, Doetsch Off-Road actually make an aluminium steering kit that basically replaces everything with heavy duty aftermarket parts. So when you do lift this, it's nice and tough.
Doetsch get all their replacement kits made in Arizona out of super high quality aluminium that's way tougher than standard. And it gets a steering geometry working perfectly with big lifts, meaning it rides well on the road and makes sure there's nothing stopping the big Jeep from flexing fully off-road. They ship these worldwide for JKs, JLs and Gladiators, so you can get them straight from their website. While they were on the tools, the boys at Doetsch Off-Road also rebuilt the whole underside of the Jeep, with new control arms, resealed diffs and drive shaft, safely giving it a 4-inch lift, which it'll need if it's going to take on the US tracks we've got planned.
Make no mistake about it, our plan is to wheel the absolute pants off this Jeep. We're going to do some of the toughest tracks in the US, and that means rocks. Have a look around, look how many rocks there are. And if you're going to be driving hardcore rock tracks, well, you're going to need bar work. Now, we've got our mates over at Real Truck have provided us with a bunch of rugged ridge bar work. So we're talking about side steps, we're talking about the fenders, we're talking about even this bumper at the front. We've got a rear bar as well as a rear wheel carrier. So basically, front to back, this Jeep is protected. Now, you'll notice that all of the bar work that we just talked about recently has been Raptor coated. Now, it's pretty subtle, but it works really, really well. We've gone for just the normal black Raptor coating on all the bar work because that's going to be probably taking the biggest hits off-road. But if you look really closely, you'll notice we've actually color-coded Raptor coating straight to this rear cargo area, and all of the roof has been done. So that's all Raptor coated here. And of course, the front bumper's all been Raptor coated, all the recovery points, and this front bib as well.
There's two reasons why I've decided to put Raptor coating on the Jeep. One, it's extremely tough and protects any pieces of bar work or other components from hits that would easily scuff or scratch a regular paint. If it does take a big knock, it's really easy to touch up and keep looking mint. Secondly, it's an affordable way to respray panels and parts on a four-wheel drive. And for Colonel Mustard, we've been able to go one step further, colour matching the Raptor on the front bib and hardtop to the rest of the Jeep. To do that, all we had to do was find a paint code for the Jeep, grab some paint in that colour from an auto paint store, and then, using a Raptor tintable kit, coat the parts of bodywork in the selected colour. The other beauty of Raptor is it can be used on just about any surface. Plastic, aluminium, steel, stainless, just about anything, which makes it so versatile.
Now the lift, we've got some high-end suspension components into this rig. Super Lift provided all the suspension here, and combined with the Doetsch Off-Road aluminium steering kit, I mean, this is an absolute match made in heaven. Well, how nice is a Jeep Rubicon behind the wheel? It's got all the leather trimmings. The only problem is really the steering wheel is on the wrong side of the vehicle. Now, of course, this particular vehicle is a 6-speed manual. We went with that one on purpose, and behind the manual gearbox is a heavy-duty clutch.
This uni-clutch 4-terrain is built for hard wheeling, with a twin plate design that gives it more surface area, resulting in a higher torque capacity, with the ability to hold up to 1500 Newton meters of torque. That makes it perfect for rigs with big tyres, riding the clutch when rock crawling, and of course towing heavy loads. The uni-clutch also comes with a built-in intercooler plate, allowing the clutch to dissipate heat better and apply more clamping force to create extra torque.
Usually, after the transmission is out, you'd remove the flywheel, send it away to be machined, wait for hours, then reinstall, and you'd need 4 hands to align the clutch correctly. Not with the uni clutch. The clutch is sealed, twin plate, and here is a built-in flywheel friction surface. So your existing one doesn't need to be remachined, it's simply a place to mount your clutch to. It's as easy as bolting the uni clutch to the flex fit flywheel mount, and then your existing flywheel. Then just drop the right spline for your gearbox and you're done. This saves hours of having your four-wheel drive on a hoist. They're really easy to install, you don't need to machine the flywheel, so we were able to send that over to Dave and the boys to fit up. Now the other cool thing, heavy duty clutch doesn't mean you have to have a heavy pedal. This Jeep is nice and easy to drive. Again, we're trying to make it perfect for Graham. Another cool little secret feature that you might not see is right under here. It's nice and conveniently located, the EVC X throttle controller. Now of course this is a petrol Jeep. It's actually quite hard to get the throttle right on this Jeep. So with so many different settings and the fact that it is Bluetooth as well, Graham can change his throttle control settings on the run. So when he's driving around town, he wants a little bit more poke, he can do that. But likewise, when he's in the tough technical stuff, which is going to be a stack of that kind of driving here in the US. You can dial that throttle controller right down, so it's less responsive, it's more dampening, and you'll have better control of the vehicle. Underneath the hood, we've got the 3.6 litre big block Rubicon motor. We've also got a K&N intake, airbox, filter, and of course snorkel. Now, I've actually been running the K&N filters in the Dirty 30 on this trip, and they're fantastic because you buy one filter and that's all you really need to buy. You don't have to carry multiple filters in the vehicle. We've got a cleaning kit, we can clean these as we go. There's a lot of dust on these roads, so it really pays to look after the motor with a good quality sealed airbox. In case you're wondering what this little vent right here is, I think it's designed to get more air into the airbox. Now, of course, when you do cross a river, you need to cover this off, and there is a little cover that we've got for this that goes straight over here, and then the intake is nice and raised. You'll notice it's only running one crank battery in the front. It does have a second battery though, however, in the cargo area of the vehicle. So you were running a fridge and camp light, so it is a basic setup. That's exactly what we've gone for. The guys down at Basil's Garage, Basil and Cody, put together a battery box that's got a red arc BC-DC 25 amp hour charger along with a 100 amp hour AGM battery. Now that is quite a simple setup, but it works perfectly, and it means we can take it in and out of the vehicle if we need to. Now you'll notice there's no shortage of lights on this vehicle. Now we've gone with a full steady setup. We've got the steady Type X Evos. These are the same ones I run on the big 200. They're some of the best in the class. Also, we've got light bars on the bumper, and there's one sneaky one on the roof. So when we're night driving, there's not going to be an issue seen. Now it's actually got rock lights underneath as well. If you come down with me, have a go with these ones. We have the little micro floodlights. Now, when you're at camp, I think a lot of people forget to put camp lights on a vehicle. They set it up for performance and driving off-road at night. But when you get to camp, sometimes you just want a little bit of comfort, and a couple of floodlights just lighting up your campsite is the way to go. Come around the back here, you'll notice there's more camp lights. Now, these are the C4 cubes. There's two of those, and there's two more rear floodlights. So there's lights all the way 360 degrees around this vehicle for both camping and driving at night.
Since we're going to be taking on some tough tracks here in the US, we've installed a Torque exhaust. It's made from high quality 304 grade stainless steel, meaning it'll handle whatever we throw at it. Plus, it'll make sure the Jeep's engine has got enough room to breathe.
Now you'll notice, of course, we didn't forget the winch. Now Graham will be driving this vehicle. Chances are he's going to get quite stuck trying to follow the Dirty 30. So we've got the Runver up the front. Now this is an 11 XP. The same one, of course, I'm running in the Dirty 30. Works an absolute treat. And to be honest with you, this is a Jeep after all. So chances are he won't get stuck, but it's good to know some of the tracks we're driving are going to be incredibly tough. So of course, goes without saying, you need a winch up the front. Of course, we're going to be living for over a month on the road with this vehicle. There's going to be at least one, maybe two people at any one time traveling around the US in this Jeep. So goes without saying, you need to maximize your space. Now we've got one of these Rhino platform racks. Now these are awesome. Got one on the 200 series. I've got one on Sooty as well. Now what's so cool about these, apart from being nice and slim and neat looking on the vehicle, there's so many accessories that are really easy to add to this platform. So we've got a shovel holder here. We've got the Max Tracks right there. Graham's been able to tie down his swag. We've even got the awning on there as well. Plus it gives us a perfect base to mount all these steady lights. So all in all, it's a must-have accessory for this Jeep.
For tyres, we've gone with Firestone Muddies in a 35. And for wheels, we went with a set of KMC 237 Riot beadlocks.
I reckon the whole build of this Jeep has turned out perfect. I reckon it looks the part, and it's got all the bits and pieces we need to tour the US successfully. Now, of course, I want to say a big thanks to Dave and the boys down at Doetsch Off-Road. They've done a marvellous job in organising this whole build and putting it all together. Now, of course, we gave them the brief to build this Jeep up, how we Aussies would build a Jeep up for tough tracks. We're talking about minimal lift, 35s, and all the touring mods you see around this vehicle. But the big question I want to ask you guys, how do you think it's going to go in the US when we tackle some of their toughest tracks? Now, keep in mind, it's very common to see a Jeep on 37s, 38s, or even 40-inch tyres. This has got baby 35s on it. How do you think it's going to go? I reckon it'll do the job just fine. Oh, there you go.
Righto, mate, we are as ready as we're going to be.
Yeah, that's my
Next
favourite
stop.
type of shopping ticked off, mate.
It is indeed. Now, we're not going into things lightly here. We're about to tackle one of the most iconic, probably, four-wheel drive tracks in the world.
I have dreamed of doing this track since I was probably about, I don't know, an 18-year-old
Knee-high to a
driver
grasshopper.
in a Suzuki Sierra, mate.
Oh, crikey.
And the Rubicon Trail is one I've always wanted to do, and that's the very first one. So there's no warm-ups, there's no mucking around, it's straight into the action. So the next time you guys are going to see these rigs, of course, is us wheeling some pretty insane tracks here in the US, but we can't leave them like this.
I reckon a little bit of a teaser.
Why not?
Give them a teaser.
Check this out.
Righto, let's give this thing a go.
Well, how's this? We're finally driving in the US, and I'm in the Dirty 30 on the start of the Rubicon Trail.
It has surpassed everything I thought it was. Holy!
A lot of guys said can't really do it on 35s. Turns out we got this far. I've never seen a Jeep do that before.
This is the greatest four-wheel drive experience I've ever had in my entire life. Nothing comes close. This is the pinnacle. Days and days of driving A-grade, low-range technical rock trails.
It's just challenge after challenge after. It just doesn't stop. Axle snapped, wheels coming off, there's recoveries. Oh, that happened quick. It was all going well until it wasn't.
I think we're gonna have to try and hold you down.